Wasn't it great how in kindergarten we would just become friends instantly? Hi, I'm Inish, and this month has made me reflect a lot about friendships. We are social creatures, so we need to socialize with other humans in order to survive. But somehow, as we grew up, and especially with the internet, it seems much more difficult. Like we don't know how to socialize anymore. We forgot. How many of you actively avoid taking phone calls, and how many of you are a little bit nervous before making them? When you're in school, you gravitate towards a group of people that have similar interests to you. And it's natural, it's in our human nature to want to be part of a group, because being part of a group meant protection. And doesn't it in some way still mean that? I feel like in school is not that you make friends easier, you probably did when you were younger, but I feel like you have more opportunities to make friends. You're in an environment where there's a lot of people your age. I'm an extrovert, so as a kid I just talked to everybody, but it was a bit hard to make friends, especially at school. I mean, everybody knew me, a lot of people talked to me, but looking back, I don't think I really had many friends. Maybe because people found me a little bit weird.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in.
But the friends I did have were good ones. But I struggled a lot to understand friendships. I thought that everybody either had to be my best friend or completely hate me. I basically treated my friendships like The Sims. I had to hang out with everybody equally all the time, or the friendship bars would go down. That's not very sustainable, and it didn't help that I didn't have friends outside of school, aside from family friends or vacation friends. And because I never had a lot of friends, I was very attached and insecure about the friendships I did have. But as I grew up and started making friends, I came to the conclusion that there are 4 types of friendships or friendship dynamics. Acquaintances, the people you know, well, you know their name or their face, but you don't know them. But they're not really strangers. They are people you know exist and you have talked to. Then you have what I call circumstantial friends. The people who are friends with you in your workspace, in your school, or you're doing some project. Or if you're in a friendship group, the people that you're not really friends with, but you're friends with them because you're friends with the other people in the group. That's circumstantial too. And yes, there are people that you befriend from your school and work that become closer to you and that become your close friends. But there's a difference. Circumstantial friends are only friends inside the environment they're in. Meaning, if you hang out with a colleague outside of work or school, you're not circumstantial friends anymore. You go to the next step, which is casual friendships. The friends who you have a casual relationship with. You know some things about each other, but you don't know their deepest, darkest secrets. You hang out sometimes. You might not know each other's family, but you know some of each other's friends. Some of these casual friendships are just for occasions too. Casual friendships, well, they're basically friendships without commitment, I guess. I have to make a special place in this category for family friends and vacation friends, because they're still casual friendships, but they're a different vibe. In the case of family friends, they know your family well. In the vacation friends, well, they just get you in a different mood, because you're in vacation, so you're not the same as you usually are. Still casual though. Next up, we have close friends. And these friends can come from anywhere. They just become really close to you. You have deep talks about life, you know each other's secrets. You can hang out pretty frequently or not, because some of your closest friends might actually be long distance friends, or you're not available to see each other all the time. But you're still close because you know each other on a much deeper level. The difference from casual friendships is that you know each other much more, and it's a more deep type of love. Some of these friends you can even consider family. And the 4th category is lifelong friends. And while you don't really know this until you live, because you can think this person is a lifelong friend, and then 40 years from now you're not friends anymore, you can see some clues that they're gonna stick around. These are the friends you imagine in your wedding day, in your 60th birthday. And this type of friendship is the one that never leaves. No matter the circumstance, the friendship never leaves. I used to get mad when me and a friend started to drift apart because I wanted all my friendships to last forever. I wanted them to be both close and lifelong friendships. And that can happen with 1 or 2 friends if you're lucky, but not all of them. But also, lifelong friends drift apart sometimes too. Everybody's got their own process going on. Sometimes we're in different life phases, but then we meet again. And it's like we never left. And for me personally, I feel like the most important thing when it comes to lifelong friendships, or even close friendships, is showing up. Being there for the special things. I heard a phrase somewhere that says, family shows up. And for me, this also applies to the friends you choose as family. Showing up to a talent show, a competition they have, a project they're starting, or even just as simple as helping them grocery shopping or buying an important gift for someone. Just showing up to the things that really matter for them, it's really important for me. This is my way of loving, but only recently did I start to understand casual friendships. I used to think they didn't matter because they could never be as important as the close ones, but that is not true. Now I understand that that's not true. In fact, I feel like as an adult, on paper, I'm just an adult on paper. As an adult, most of the friendships you have are casual friendships, and they still have a lot of impact on you as a person. And as I'm starting to enjoy casual friendships, here are some tips to make friends as an adult. Invite people from your usual environment to go out for a cup of coffee. As I said to you, what distinguishes circumstantial friends from casual friends is that you see them outside of your environment. So do that. Talk to your neighbors. If you don't know them, get to know them. Plan a get-together in the neighborhood. Invite everybody over to watch a football game or something. Look for people with the same interests as you. And this is a great opportunity for you to grow together. This can be in person, like going to a skate park, a scientific convention, a local theater. You chat about your interests, you can teach each other some things maybe, and you probably just got yourself a casual friend. But you can also do it by DMing someone on Instagram. For example, someone who does reviews of fantasy books, and you really like fantasy books. You can DM that person and be like, hey, I really liked that book too. You know what I enjoyed about it that you didn't say in your video? Then start a conversation. Being open to socializing in general, because sometimes we're just in our own little bubble and it's uncomfortable to get out of it. It's uncomfortable to go and talk to someone. But once that barrier is broken, great things can happen. Great conversations can happen. So next time you're in a public setting, don't close yourself off. To use an example that happened to me, sometimes I go into auditions very closed off. I observe people, what they do before they audition, but sometimes I'm in my own bubble. But when I'm more relaxed, I kind of open up a little bit and start talking to people. And the other day, I went to an audition. I met someone who went to the same school as me, but we didn't know each other. We shared our interests. We even got back home in a train together, and we texted on Instagram the day after. Casual friendship that would have never happened if I closed off myself in that little bubble before auditioning. Oh, and finally, text someone you haven't talked to in a while. Because sometimes we do have casual friends and we forget that we have these casual friendships. Someone that you haven't heard of for months. Text them. Ask them how they are. Ask them if they want to hang out. With that being said, there are some friends that are supposed to be in your life only for a period of time. And we shouldn't be sad about it because it's actually a great thing. We change, our friends change, and so it's normal that some drift apart. But that only means that we really have to enjoy our human connections. Really be with each other. There's a quote I want your opinion on. It says, happiness isn't real unless shared. There's a book who got turned into a movie. It's called Into the Wild, and it talks about the journey of the guy who wrote this phrase. He initially runs away from people in an ordinary life to find himself, to connect with nature, and in the end, he discovers that life is not a path to walk entirely on your own, as one's light shines more brightly when shared and reflected through others. There's a lot of discourse around this, and I do encourage you to read the Reddit threads about it. They have a lot of different perspectives, they're very interesting. A few years ago, I had a discussion with my psychology teacher. She said that she could live alone without anybody in the world aside from her and be very happy. And I defended that humans are social creatures, and that even if she had all the conditions to live, she could not be truly happy. And maybe she would even die. I thought that she could maybe, trigger warning, unalive herself, even if it was unconsciously. Now listen, I love being on my own, and I do feel happy on my own, but I see that there might be some truth to saying that happiness is more meaningful when shared with others. Anyway, I really want to read that book and see what my opinion is like then. But for now, I just want to know what you think. Tell me in the comments. What do you think about the quote? What do you think about the discussion I had with my teacher? I hope this video made you think and gave you an urge to socialize. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.